This is the third episode of Action Relay, and today we're going to be talking about Sea of Thieves and a whole bunch of other Xbox related things. Hello, welcome to the podcast. This is again episode 3 of Action Relay, and before we get started, one thing I realized I never did in the first two episodes is I kind of assumed people would be coming here from where I post it, either on Twitter or Discord or wherever I post it, and I never introduced myself because, again, I just assumed people would know because they would be coming from other places. I never thought maybe, someone might send it to a friend or someone would actually find it on YouTube somehow in some way, just through the tags or something. And so I've never properly introduced myself or even said my name. Uh, so I'm going to do that now. I am Mike. You can call me any variation of that name if you like. And I like video games and I want to talk about video games. That's kind of why I started this podcast here. Just to talk about video games, either old games, new games, or just news in general that's happening. That's what we're going to talk about today quite a bit, is just news, not necessarily new games or something. But we are going to start with a new game, and that game is Sea of Thieves, which I finally got to play. Uh, I had a chance to play it for a long time, actually. I signed up for the technical alpha, but I never realized I actually got accepted. I got some emails from it, but I never assumed I got accepted. I got like in newsletters and stuff, but apparently in one of those newsletters, it was like, "Hey, by the way, you're in the technical alpha. Come play." And I never got to. I got to, but I never tried because I didn't know. I didn't know I was in the technical alpha. But then I get an email, uh, gosh, beginning of this month, where it's like, "Thank you for being a loyal member of the technical alpha. Here's the invite to the closed beta." It's like, oops, super loyal member of the technical alpha. But yeah, so I got into the closed beta. It just happened. I think it's over now. Yeah, 3 a.m. I'm recording this, so it is over at this point in time. No more Sea of Thieves until March, sadly. But yeah, this has been a long time coming. This was announced back, gosh, what was it 2014? I think. I think it was 2014. So because we had 2015, which what no, what maybe it was announced in 2015 because we had those 2 years after. There was the year with the invited community to play, and then last year they had the big like treasure hunt trailer. So like the year before that was just ship battles, and then they had the treasure hunt trailer, and now it is here, and we got to play it, and it's coming out very very soon. Um, so if you are unaware of what Sea of Thieves is, it is pretty much this game where you're dropped into an open world either by yourself or with a crew of either 2, 3, or 4 players, and you just get to do pirate things. And that's pretty much it. But don't worry, it's great. Trust me, it's great. Uh, and the thing that makes it great is the freedom, is the you're dropped into this world and you can just do whatever you want. And in the beta, there is a progression, and in the beta there was only one little chunk of the progression. So the progression are these factions. There are going to be 3 factions in the launch version of the game, but in the closed beta there's only one version, only one faction, and that was the Gold Hunters Guild. I think that's what the name is. And what this guild or faction is Gold Hunters Trading Company. I think that's what it's called. And what it is you talk to this guy and he gives you quests. And these quests, when you drop them on the table and vote for them, you can vote for them with a crew. You can all put your quest down the table and vote for which quest you want to do. You can only do one quest at a time, which we'll talk about in a bit. But yeah, you drop that down the table and you can do it. And once it gets accepted, you get maps in your inventory. And these maps will give you either one or two things. It's going to give you a riddle, or it's going to give you a picture of the island with little X's on it that show you where the treasure is. And so you can do those, you can find treasure, and then you take the treasure back, and you get gold, and you also get experience for the trading company. And this experience, when you level up, you can get like ranks. So I think it's every 5 levels you rank up. So 5, 10, 15, 20. I barely made it. I barely didn't make it to 20. I think it was like halfway through level 19 before the beta abruptly ended for me. Um, so as you level up and you get these level 5 rankings, level 5, 10, 20, you get access to more challenging, longer quests. You start out with things that are half a day long, so this will take you half an in-game day. I think that's what that relates to, not half a real day, but half an in-game day. And so, uh, the ones that I was getting later on were more than a day, so more than a couple days. And they take you all around the world. It's usually pretty close when you drop down the quest. It's usually pretty close to where you are, which is nice. And then all these subsequent islands, because you can get multiple maps from a quest, so you can get they're usually pretty close. They're usually in like a chunk of the world. You won't be going from one side to the other side. Typically in a quest, at least from what I've seen. Who knows what the voyages will be for? Gosh, like a level 50 person. So that is what I got to play in the beta, and that doesn't seem like much. And in honesty, maybe it isn't. Maybe it won't capture people in the long run. Maybe it'll just like fizzle out in a few weeks, but hopefully it doesn't. And I think the thing that will keep people coming back is the PvP. Pretty much, the PvP in this game is fantastic because it is an open world and you get dropped in with your friends, but you also get dropped in with other crews. So other people get dropped in this world with you. And in the beta, I think it was 16 per world. So it's you and 15 other people, whether that be your crew or if you're by yourself, just 15 other crews, 15 other people in crews. And the PvP is intense. It takes a while, which is really cool because the ship battles and the ships move pretty slow, and you have to really work together to maneuver them. And they can last like a long time. They can last like upward like 20 minutes, depending on how good the two teams are. And you can get good at this game, which is something I didn't really anticipate. If you can go into this game and actually like get really, really good at it with both the gunplay, the sword play, and the ship maneuvering. One thing that you'll realize pretty early is if you have your wheel turned all the way to one side and you drop your anchor, your ship will drift. So if you're looking north and you hit the anchor as you're turning to the left, you'll drift all the way so you'll be facing the west. And that is really good for ship battles because if someone's right behind you and you're right in front of them, you can drift, turn, and now the side of your ship is facing the front of their ship. And that's very bad for them because you're gonna fire right into them. And that's just really cool. And it's something that you can get better at again. You can coordinate better. Obviously, if you can drop the anchor and then get 4 people to bring it back up, and it'll bring it back up really, really fast. And the swordplay is something that I didn't realize would be as deep as it is. So it's actually pretty interesting when you swing your sword. If you miss, if you miss or if you hit, you'll have a cooldown afterwards. So if I swing my sword and I miss, I don't get a combo off of it, but I'll get a cooldown off of it. So I'm left open, my movement is slowed down, my turning is slowed down as well, so I can't turn my camera as fast. But also, if you hit something with your sword, you can then do a combo. So you can combo twice and then a third time. But even after you do the combo, you will still have that cooldown where you're slowed down. And you can't really turn that much. And that makes the sword fights really interesting because you also have a block, and the block actually does I think it blocks all damage from enemy swords. So, but you aren't just like block isn't just like an easy win because after they finish their combo off you, you get pushed back. So if I'm blocking at the edge of a ship and someone does their combo on me, I'm gonna get pushed off the boat, which is very bad. So sometimes it's maybe better to just take the combo. And that's really cool. It makes swords are also good because when you're hitting someone with a sword and they don't block, they actually can like their movement is impaired. Like the same way when you're cooled down off a sword, they move slower, they can't turn as fast, and so using your sword is also like a very good tool because their movement gets messed up. And so you also have three weapons in the beta. You start with two, but you can also purchase a third, and it is a pistol, a sniper, which they call the Eye of Reach, and the shotgun, the blunderbuss. And all of these weapons feel useful and feel like they have purpose. A shotgun right up against someone will, of course, take them out in one hit, but you have to be really, really close, and you have to aim really, really well. Something PC players are probably going to have an advantage with, which is something that is very interesting. They decided to do. Very happy they decided to do this. Um, PC and Xbox players can play together in the same worlds, which again is going to give the PC players a bit of an advantage. But it's fine. I don't care. I've been playing on the Xbox. It doesn't bother me at all if someone is playing on PC and they aim better than me because they're on PC and they snipe me and kill me. I don't care. I'm having fun either way. It's fun to lose in this game, which is very important because it's pretty relaxed. The battles, when you lose, you might lose a lot, but at the same time, it doesn't really feel like it. Like it just feels like you lost a game. It doesn't feel like you lost like this hour long, 3 hour long progression. It doesn't feel like losing in like a MOBA or something where it's just the most draining thing imaginable because you also get back into the game very quickly. They're very lenient. If you lose your ship, you can get it right away. There's no gold you have to spend to get your ship back. You just get it right away, which makes sense because this game is pretty lobby based, which is something I didn't think would have. I thought it would be very more MMO like you start out and you have nothing and then you build up, and then you have to buy your own ship and then you have to like look for parties to come be on your own ship. But what is instead is you start the game, you click which crew you want to be in. So do you want to be in a 4 person crew, a 2 person, or you want to be by yourself? And then when you do that, you just spawn into a random world with a ship. And the ship isn't necessarily tailored to you. It's just the ship that's given to you, and every time you go back into a new game, it's a different ship. And I think you'll be able to customize it per time you go into the per time you go into the game. But I'm sure there's not going to be a ship that's for you, and you get to keep that ship through all of your games. That doesn't seem to be the case. Um, the progression seems to be mostly cosmetic from what I've seen in the beta. You can of course get that shotgun, which is a new thing, but for the most part, the different shovels, the different eyeglasses, the different compasses, it doesn't actually. These aren't better shovels. This shovel isn't going to help you dig faster. This bucket is going to help you uh, bail water better. It's mostly just to do style. It's the end game. It's the cosmetic end game, much like most MMOs are. Uh, so yeah, what else was I going to talk about this game? Oh yeah, the death, the whole death. I talked about the ships. You can get your ship right away when you die. You don't really lose anything. You just end up in this little purgatory world for I think 30 seconds, and then this door will open up and you can go back to the land of the living, and you just end up on your ship. And if you have no ship, you'll end up by a mermaid where you can then get a ship right away. Again, they get you right back into the game very, very fast. That has uh, caused some controversy though with the respawning system, because if I am on the enemy team, not the enemy team, if I am raiding a ship, I take them all down, I send them to purgatory, or Davy Jones's locker is probably a better term for this game. Uh, if I don't get off their ship, if I don't get all their loot and don't get off within 30 seconds, they're just gonna come back and kill me. And that's caused a lot of and even when their ship is down, they can come back in the water. But people have been talking about how like if someone's on the ship, you shouldn't be able to respawn. They're thinking about new ways to do it, like taking enemy ships. But I don't know if that's necessarily something you want to do. I don't know if taking like would that be like you can only have 4 people at a party. You're really gonna split up the attention between 2 ships. I don't think that's a good idea to be able to take enemy ships. I actually really like the way it is now because it forces you to be quick and it forces you to micromanage because you want to get their loot. You can't get all of their loot, which is something you're just gonna have to accept. If they have like tons and tons of loot, maybe you're gonna have to get everyone on the ship and like continuously take them out while you're trying to get them. And then once you get all their loot out of the ship, you want to sink their ship so they can't chase you. and that's kind of what the flow of PvP is, damaging them enough so they're preoccupied with keeping their ship up, and then taking their loot as they're preoccupied and maybe taking them out along the way. And that's kind of what I feel the flow of PvP is going to be, and also just tons and tons of griefing because people want to grief. Uh, that's really fun. People are going to do that. People are going to do just PvP. They're not even going to care about the progression at all. They're just going to go around griefing people, jumping on their ships with gunpowder and blowing themselves up and blowing the ship up with them. I imagine that's going to be what a lot of people prefer to do in the game, is just grief other players. Let me take a sip. But yeah, the PvP makes it really intense. When you see a ship in a distance, it's also great because that's the game. It's not a specific mode for PvP. It's not a specific mode for like this adventure voyage. It's all brought in together, and you have to like consciously be aware at all times. Like, I have to be in the crow's nest because I have to like keep a lookout to see if a ship is chasing us or if a ship is like in the distance but they're also headed our way. That's all like very important information. You have to make decisions about all of this, and you might have to like bail on stuff. You might have to bail on voyages because there's too much PvP happening. You might have to change course, maybe go to a different island, maybe I don't know, maybe quit the game, start a new. That's gonna be uh, something that is a little weird. Is if you have oh, I should probably mention your ship has resources when you spawn, and I think every time you spawn, it's a set amount, and the resources are wooden boards to patch up your ship, cannonballs, and bananas, which are your health refuels. And you can get more resources by traveling to different islands. And every island has barrels on it, and the barrels typically contain one of the three items. And so, if you're out of resources, I think the best thing to do would just be to sink your ship and start back up with the default amount. That's gonna be a little weird. At least they give you the option to sink your ship, even without like driving into an island. There is an option in the menu that you all can vote on to just sink your ship. So if you feel like you're in an unwinnable situation and you just want to start over, you can just choose to sink your ship. And I think that's a nice option. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how people take to the PvP because like I said, it's pretty relaxed. It's not like you lose tons of things. Well, you do lose tons of things, but it doesn't feel like it because it just feels really nice to play. It feels really casual and relaxed and chill, and you don't have to worry about it too much if you lose stuff because you just get right back in there really fast. It's not like what's that one game, the one spaceship game where if you lose a thing, you're losing like thousands and thousands of hours. Eve Online, that's the one. It's not like Eve at all, which is actually what I thought it was going to be when it was first announced, but it's not like that at all. It's very very chill, and I like that. I think that's going to be why I'm going to play it so much, and the freedom of it is why I'm going to be playing it so much. And the different factions, the two other factions that they have shown off that are going to be in the launch version of the game seem a lot more interesting than the gold trading company. There's a regular trading company where you need to trade resources between different islands, different outposts, and you have to do it in a set amount of time. So imagine that's gonna be really stressful, especially if you get into a PvP situation, trying to get your resources to another island in a set amount of time. And the other one is a PvE faction where you get a wanted thing, and you have to go to an island, and it'll spawn like very special enemies to fight. And the PvP is something that I hope they work on because the skeleton, there's two enemies in the beta. There are the sharks, which are actually totally fine. You don't need to mess with the sharks at all. They're just as vicious as they need to be. But the skeletons maybe need some work because for the most part they are a non-issue. I've never had a moment where a skeleton fighting me has been an issue. So I hope for the higher level quests they turn into an issue, especially for the fighting PvE quests. I hope they are very vicious, much like the sharks, because they don't do a lot of damage and they aren't very aggressive. I think is the problem. and not a lot of them have guns, and if they do have guns, they take forever to fire. So yeah, maybe these skeletons could use some work, maybe some more aggression. But considering how vicious the sharks are, I feel like maybe it was a point to keep them that weak. Maybe they do get very very more aggressive as you uh, rise in the ranks. And one thing that's also cool about this game that they talked about in the progression video, which they released, is you if you're is there's no catching up. That's something they specifically said, is that there's no catching up. Um, if you have been playing this game for 200 hours and your friend who just got the game wants to play with you, you can just do it because there's no leveling up your gear. There's no leveling up. You're not getting stronger. You're not getting faster shovels. The most you're getting is just new tools, which is just new stuff. It's not like you're getting more powerful stuff. Just because you don't have a blunderbuss doesn't mean you're going to be uh, not useful in combat. You're still going to have your sword. You're still going to have your pistols. You're going to have your eye of reach. Um, so what I could do is, if I invite a friend or my friend just buys a game after I've been playing for 200 hours, we can just go on my quest, my high level quest together, my level 50 raid. My friend can just come with me like right off the bat, and that's really interesting. That's the help and the freedom aspect of this game. And that's also a reason why they said being in a crew is valuable, because you could be matched up with someone who has a very higher level quest than you, and you'll end up getting like way more rewards than you would have just doing your little stinky quests. And yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited for Sea of Thieves. I was hoping so badly that it was gonna be good. Rare's first real game since Nuts and Bolts. They've been doing Connect games forever. Something weird happened there with Rare for a little bit, but I think it's okay to say they're back now. Can we say they're back now? Can we just say they're back? Can we say that they never left until the Connect era? Can we say that they made great games like Viva Pinata and Cameo and Live and Reloaded and Nuts and Bolts and just all, like, I think Ghost in the Ghoulies is pretty alright. Uh, Rare has been great on Xbox, and I think Sea of Thieves is only happening because they've been on Xbox. Sure, we might have gotten Banjo 3 and Conquer 2 by now if they stayed with Nintendo, but we got Viva Pinata and we got Cameo, which I'm not sure would happen if they stayed with Nintendo. You know, give and take. Maybe one day we will get that Conquer 2 and Banjo 3. I hope, for the people who've been waiting so long. I think we will. I think the demand is still there. We just saw Mega Man 11 get announced recently. I think it's soon. I think within the next 5 years we will have one of those games in our hands, which is a pretty long time actually. So time to get waiting. But yeah, that's Sea of Thieves. I can't wait. It's coming out March 20th. I think that's the same day as Kirby. That's gonna be a rough one, choosing between those two. I hope it has a long life. I hope Rare is okay with this. They've never made a game like this before. I hope they realize how vicious the fan bases for games like this are. They're gonna want new content, and they're gonna want it fast. They're gonna need to be more open. They're gonna be more open with their community. They're gonna need to communicate more, which is something that they wouldn't have had to do if they released like a bunch of single player games, or maybe a smaller multiplayer game like a Perfect Dark or a GoldenEye or something. But yeah, good luck, Rare. You're really gonna need it. I hope those servers are fine on launch day. I hope don't have any issues. I hope you have another beta. Hope you have an open beta, just so you can really get that stuff ironed out. Um, and I also hope you're working on something else. I hope you usually have two teams working on different stuff. So I'm hoping while you've been working on Sea of Thieves, you've had a smaller team maybe working on a Viva Pinata or a Conquer or a Banjo. Which is kind of segueing into the two other topics I want to talk about, and that is Xbox's IP issue and the Xbox Game Pass. So let's talk about the Xbox Game Pass first, because they just recently announced that all of their first party exclusive games, will be on the Xbox Game Pass at launch. So Sea of Thieves coming out March 20th. If you are a Xbox Game Pass member, you will be able to play that game at launch on March 20th, which is pretty crazy, especially considering the Xbox Game Pass is $10 a month. So I also have a free trial that I still haven't burned yet. So I'm gonna be playing Sea of Thieves for free for 15 days, which is very nice. Um, I think this is a good deal, especially looking at like all this stuff. Let me look at. I have this page open right now. They've got like Explosion Man on here. They got Super Street Fighter 4. They've got all the Twisted Pixel games. They got the Maw. They got Miss Explosion Man. They got the Comic Jumper. They got a bunch of Pac-Man games. Payday 2, Oddworld, Recore. They have all of the Gears of War. They have Gears of War 2, 3, 4. That other one, the spin-off one that no one talked about, and then the first one. That's they got M Plus. Like, look at all these games you get for $10 a month. This is the Netflix of games, and it's not streaming. Thank God. You don't have to stream. Look at all the Bioshock games I'm looking at right here. They got most of Rare Replay on here. Not all of it, but they do have most of it, which is pretty much all the 360 titles plus the two Banjo games. They got Halo on here, Halo 5. They got XCOM on here. They got a lot. They got a lot of good stuff on here. And now that they're adding their first party exclusives going forward, day one to the catalog, I think you could get away with buying an Xbox One and just having the Game Pass, not ever buying a game. Uh, yeah, you could just have the Game Pass, and I think you'd get your money's worth. Of course, you would obviously want some games, maybe your favorites, just so you have them in case the internet goes out, or if the Xbox Game Pass ever gets shut down or something. That's a definite fear, is them taking games away. Because they said games will be coming day one to the Game Pass, but they haven't said, are they gonna go away? Is Sea of Thieves gonna go away after like 2 months, and then we're gonna have to buy it? And I just spent $20 on Sea of Thieves that is now wasted because I don't. It's not on the Game Pass anymore. I can't play it anymore. Oh my god, they have Ground Zeroes on here. I'm sorry, I'm just like looking at this now. Got like a lot of stuff on here I want to play. All right, they have two versions of the first Gears of War. Okay. Just pad it out. Just pad it out. God, they got the first Mass Effect on here. Lego Batman. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, Xbox Game Pass. I'm definitely gonna play so many games on this when Sea of Thieves comes out and I use my free trial. But yeah, what else do they have on here? They have State of Decay 2 and Crackdown 3 coming. They also said Halo, Gears of War, and the next Forza are coming. We knew about Forza pretty much. Forza's every year. Halo 6 we've known about. But Gears of War, I'm surprised they're making another Gears of War, and they're probably like still working on it right now, if they're confident enough to say yes, Gears of War will be coming to Xbox Game Pass. But yeah, there's not much to say about that other than it's just really cool. I think it's really, really cool. I'm definitely going to be a member and play a ton of games. I've definitely got a lot of value out of the Games for Gold program. I've played tons of games that I wouldn't have been able to otherwise, like Trackmania. I finally got to try out Trackmania Turbo. I got Trials on here. I got a Thief, I think. Got a bunch of stuff on here. I just can't think of it right now. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in playing tons of these games on Xbox Game Pass, and I hope we get Cuphead on here one day. You made Cuphead, Xbox. Well, you didn't make it, but you funded it. Just put it on the Game Pass, dude. I'll play Cuphead. But this also leads into an issue I'm having with Xbox right now, and that is an IP issue. And thinking about it, most of the reason I owned an Xbox 360 was for Halo and the very few rare games that they put out. Other than that, it was a third-party machine. You had an Xbox because the PS3 was such a mess because no one could develop games on it, and the third-party like version, like the ports on it were bad. The Bayonetta port was very, very bad. It had a few good exclusives on there, of course. Like I loved Little Big Planet, but that was pretty much it for me in terms of exclusives. Was like Little Big Planet. They had the Uncharted stuff, which I wasn't very interested in. I was much more an Xbox guy because I loved Halo, That was pretty much I loved Halo and I loved Rare, and that was why I owned an Xbox. It was very different from Nintendo, where I love like most of their catalog. You know, I love Star Fox, I love Mario, I love Smash Brothers, I love Mario Party, I love Mario Kart, I like some of the Zeldas, I like Pikmin, I like Kid Icarus, I like Animal Crossing. There's like so many reasons for me to own a Nintendo console, but even though there's very few comparatively, I still love my Xbox because Halo is just that good, and Rare is just that good, and I get to play third-party stuff that doesn't end up on Nintendo consoles. Uh, like gosh, like pretty much everything. Like Switch is getting some new stuff now, but yeah, I think the Xbox image was so much different a few years ago when they had so many other games coming. Scalebound and Fable Legends in particular. Fable Legends was done. Fable Legends was ready to come out. I think it went gold. Maybe not gold, but pretty much gold. And it just didn't come out. They canceled it. They shut down the studio. They Star Fox 2'd that game. So, you know, maybe in 30 years we'll be able to play it. But yeah, that's so crazy. And then Scalebound getting canceled. Scalebound felt like the big game for Xbox for a while there. I felt like the thing that most people were excited about. You know, when you think of Crackdown 3, people bring up Crackdown 3 because they're expecting it. Obviously, some people are excited, but I don't think it's as exciting as Scalebound was, and even Fable Legends was. Fable Legends looked awesome. I've been looking at like Fable Legends gameplay. That game looked awesome. I would love to play that game. Put it out. It's done. Just put it out. Bring some people over to make it work again, and just put it out as it was. I want to play it. I want to play Fable Legends. Evolve was a long time ago. You don't even worry about that. This is a new time. Just put it out. Put it on the Xbox Game Pass. But yeah, this is the issue. Is like Microsoft. Where are the games? Where are the games that like are exciting? Where's your equivalent to Breath of the Wild, Last of Us 2, Horizon Zero Dawn? Where is that for the Xbox? Because whilst like some people might be excited for Crackdown 3 and State of Decay 2, and of course I'm very excited about Sea of Thieves. I think a lot of people are. It's not quite on that level, and I don't know if Halo, Gears of War, and Forza are on that level either. Obviously, Forza's going to sell a lot. Maybe Halo's going to sell decent, but it's not that it doesn't have that excitement around it as some of the games on the other platforms do. And maybe they could. Maybe Gears of War and Halo could release some trailers and they could be amazing. But I almost feel like Microsoft is in that territory now where no one really wants to get excited about them because of just issues. It's the same reason people don't like Rare now, even though Rare is still great. Uh, some people said some stuff about Rare, and now no one's allowed to like Rare anymore or like anything they did. Rare sucked after they left Nintendo. You know they made like 6 amazing games afterwards with like Cameo and Viva Pinata and Nuts and Bolts and Live and Reloaded, and now Sea of Thieves. Um, yeah, I just think Microsoft in general is in that area now, where even if Halo 6 comes out and it's amazing, people will not want to admit it's amazing for whatever reason. And I want them to blow people away this year. I want something big to come out of Microsoft this year. I want people to Banjo and Conquer. Just that's it. Just put one of those two out, and I think you will get people's attention again. I think you'll get people excited again. I think you'll get people to want to like Xbox again and want to like Microsoft again if you announce a Conquer or a Banjo, because that's what people want. You know, like I want Halo 6. I'm sure a lot of people want Halo 6, but I think a lot of people that feel burned, the reason they feel burned is because they haven't had a Conqueror or a Banjo, is what I think. And so if you give people a Conqueror Banjo, I think people will come back to you. I really do. Obviously, I want Viva Pinata. I think Viva Pinata would do really well, especially on PC. But I think it's important that you put out a Banjo or a Conquer, or just at least announce it this year, and don't cancel it. Don't you do it? Yeah, don't. Why Crackdown? You know, Crackdown 1 people liked, Crackdown 2 people didn't like, and Crackdown 3 didn't look very good when you showed it at E3. It's been in development for so long, and the state it was in at E3 didn't look very good at all. The trailer didn't help that much either. The trailer was very, very bad, but it just looked really stiff. It didn't look very fun. I didn't understand the point of the game. I'm not a Crackdown fan. I've never played a Crackdown game, and I looked at it and I didn't know what I was supposed to be excited about. Um, yeah, I didn't get it. Maybe some Crackdown fans can tell me what I was supposed to be excited about, because I didn't. I sure didn't get it from that trailer, and I'm just wondering why this has stuck around. It's been in development hell. I think it's safe to say that it's been like 5 or 6 years. Crackdown 3, maybe let's just say 5, maybe not 6. But yeah, it's just like, why is that sticking around? But yet you cancel Scalebound and Fable Legends. Fable Legends was canceled for a different reason, but I think Scalebound was canceled because they were behind schedule. But like, Crackdown is super behind schedule at this point. You know, it's supposed to come out like multiplayer only a long time ago, and then it was single player only, and it was supposed to launch with the Xbox One X to show the power of the Xbox One X, and we ended up getting Super Lucky Sale instead, and now it's delayed now. I don't even know if this. Hold on, let me check real quick. Live updates. Crackdown 3, when are you coming out? Crackdown 3, no idea. Unspecified spring 2018 release. So we don't know when that game's coming. It could not even be spring. So yeah, I just don't know what you're doing. I don't think you know what to do really, because like Gears of War 5, will that push the envelope? Halo, you of course have to, because that's your flagship series, and you want to like undo the wrongs from the Halo 5 campaign, and maybe put out a good multiplayer at launch. Halo 5's multiplayer is amazing now, but at launch it was very, very. They didn't have invasion, not invasion, infection. They didn't have. They also didn't have invasion from Halo Reach. Still don't. Uh, it didn't have Forge. It didn't have Fiesta. It didn't have Oddball. It didn't have Griffball. Like what? It's crazy how limited that was. But I think the reason that was because they tried new innovative stuff like Warzone and Breakout, which I can respect. And now we do have a lot of that stuff back. We do have Oddball now. We do have Griffball. We do have Forge, the best Forge in any Halo. We do have Infection now. We do have Super Fiesta now, with just the most amount of guns in any Halo game. So having that at launch of Halo 6, I think would really help it. And I don't know. I don't know what you can do besides a Banjo or Conquer to like really get people like excited about Xbox again on the same level as a Mario or a Crash Bandicoot even. Yeah, just dig into your catalog, dig into a new IP maybe, a new IP that is maybe single player focused. I don't know, because you guys have been doing that, haven't you? With whatever Remedy's game was, I can't remember. Quantum Break, was that what that one was? Yeah, and that didn't really. I don't know. I don't know what you can do besides Banjo. I'm at a loss. Again, you're in that area now where Rare was, like stuff like Mighty Number Nine and Ukulele, where it's like, no, you're not allowed to like that stuff. You're not allowed to be excited about that stuff. I don't know what you can do. Maybe next generation. I don't. I don't know. Just do a Banjo game. Just do it. Just do Conquer. You've been teasing Conquer for too long. Just bake a game with him. Um, but yeah, that's short one, short episode. I like it. Easily digestible. I don't have a snack today. I had a cupcake today, so I don't want to have another snack. Please understand. That's it. That's the episode. I vented enough about Xbox and their IP issue, and Sea of Thieves. Amazing. I can't wait for Sea of Thieves. Please look into Sea of Thieves. It's out on PC too if you have Windows 10, or just get an Xbox One S, like cheaper than a Switch. Just try it out. It's Xbox One game, $10 a month. You just play Sea of Thieves. You just play Halo 5. You just play all the Gears of War games. If you never played Gears of War, there's all the games, all of them. Every single one, even 4, even the new one. Just record. Just it. That's the thing. Before we end, that's the thing. Even though it's a good deal, you can't get people excited about good deals. Good deals don't get people hyped to buy a console. Um, If I came up to you and said, "Hey, every indie game is half off on the Switch," if you weren't in on the Switch, you're not. That's not really going to move the dial for you, I don't think. And so, even though I think Game Pass is a good deal, and Xbox Live Gold has a lot of great benefits, and I think the Xbox is a great system with like a lot of great games. If you don't have like a good PC to run, and even if you have a good PC, you might be like me and prefer play games on console. And so, uh, yeah, like there's stuff there. There's lots of third-party stuff. I don't. I'm just rambling at this point. I should probably stop. I'm just rambling. Yeah, I can't wait for Sea of Thieves. That's all I want to say there. Sea of Thieves looks great. Xbox Game Pass, I'm excited for. I hope Xbox has a great E3 this year. I hope they blow the doors with Halo 6. I hope it's like a good gameplay demo. Don't tease anything at E3 unless it's like Banjo. Then you can tease it. But don't, if you're gonna show Gears of War 4, show Gears of War 4. Don't tease it. No CGI stuff at E3, please. Please, 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 please. Also, end with the first party game. Don't end with an EA game that's probably gonna disappoint people. End with something. End with Halo. End with Banjo. That was very weird last year when you started with third party and ended with third party. I appreciate you showing third party though. I really do, especially since Nintendo and Sony don't really seem to care. It's nice that these random third party studios, especially indie studios, get to have their spotlight on a big E3 stage. It's nice to see that indie reel every year, and even promote like some of the indies like a lot bigger than the others. Like 2 years ago, you showed We Happy Few, which was a great demo, and this year I think you showed. Last year I think you showed some weird game that was a lot like Dark Souls. Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for showing Dragon Ball Fighters. I know people probably don't remember that you guys showed up Dragon Ball Fighters, but that was a really great announcement. I showed off Code Vein. That was really cool. Anthem looks alright. Probably not gonna get it. It's CA. Uh, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. Sea of Thieves, March 20th. No questions yet. I don't have user questions yet. If you have a question, uh, QOP before comment. If you're interested for some reason in an opinion of mine. Yeah. See you next time. That's it. Yeah. Have a good one. Stay safe. Sweet dreams. Drink water too. Yeah. All right. Goodbye.